The following program is a production of WXCL Television, West Palm Beach.
Good evening, I'm Tony May. Welcome to this special edition of South Florida Today called Literacy Life Lessons. In the next half hour, we will share stories of those in our communities who are on both sides of the struggle to learn to read and write. In Palm Beach County and the Treasure Coast, about 1 in 5 adults is considered functionally illiterate. That makes finding work challenging. Even simple everyday tasks like grocery shopping and reading a prescription can be monumental. Now, why should we all care and want to be part of the solution? Well, that is simple. If someone can't work, it creates a strain on the unemployment system. If someone can't tell the doctor what's wrong, they end up even sicker. And if a child doesn't learn to read, his chances of ending up in jail increase immensely. But there are people in our own neighborhoods who are working to change these facts. Our first story tonight focuses on a Jupiter resident who moved down here, like many of us, for the sun and fun that is South Florida. But she also dedicates hours each week to a simple task, reading to youngsters who may never have heard a book before. These preschoolers in West Palm Beach enjoy the playground like any others, but the facts show growing up in a lower-income neighborhood like this one means they will enter school at a disadvantage from the very first day, unless they are introduced to reading early on.
Okay, what's this animal right here? What do you think that's called?
A horse.
A horse. How does a horse go? What sound does he make? Do you know? Can you make it for me? Neigh. Does he go neigh? You're not sure. Okay.
That is why Susan Spencer has spent the past 10 years in an area many warned her not to volunteer in.
This neighborhood was not the neighborhood necessarily that most of the volunteers felt comfortable in going to. And I grew up in New York, specifically in Brooklyn, New York, so that was just fine with me, and I felt if there was a need, I wanted to fill it.
Susan began sharing books with little ones here before they could walk.
The children that I dealt with initially were the children who were about 1 in one of the groups, and some of them would come crawling and they would be listening to the stories, some of them eating the book while they were listening to the story, and then I would do the 2 and 3-year-olds and then the 4-year-olds.
Studies show children who are read to frequently nearly double their literacy skills when they enter school.
And what was amazing is from year to year, the children who went up from group to group, you could see the reading readiness, that if you start them at 1, seeing an adult turn the pages of a book and a story come out and participate with them and ask them questions, that by the time they are 3 or 4, reading is just part of their lives that they love.
And while she knows her love of books has inspired the same in these little ones, Susan says it's the relationship with them that keeps her coming back each week.
It was a mutual love affair. I think the kids enjoyed me. They gave me the name Miss Susie, that's my alias, and I enjoyed being with them, and I had some times in my life where it was difficult. I lost my husband during the process, and they were a continuum in my life, and the staff as well, very supportive of me. And it was wonderful. It's a love fest is what it really is.
And she wants others to realize the need for help in neighborhoods like this one.
You live in this county. You reap the rewards from this county. Why not put something back?
And if that doesn't inspire you to volunteer your time, Susan has an even better reason.
But why should people do it? Because it really is a taste of honey. Wow. What else do they need? What are these?
Strawberries.
Are you ever smart? And what color are the strawberries?
Red.
Right. And you want to count the stories?
Now, when we think about those who can't read or write, we often think of youngsters, like the ones in that story. But adults in our area also want to overcome illiteracy, and they are, thanks to another Palm Beach County Literacy Coalition program. This one focuses on older students.
So usually we start the class.
Vivian Drozdoff retired from a successful career in the Northeast to live the golf course community life in Boca Raton. But soon she found herself bored and wanting to do more than lunch with the ladies.
I'm very active, the gym and bike riding. I have a wonderful social life down here, but I really needed to make something more of just a retired life, which, people are very active here. We take courses. There's so much to do. We travel, but it's just something for me with who I am. I didn't want to just get a job somewhere or work in a store. It's not my personality. I love helping others, whether it's children, and working with adults is very different because I was more used to children. I love both.
The former executive recruiter speaks several languages, so she decided to use those skills to help others learn to speak and read English.
When I saw the classes here and how much need there was, and I was working with a wonderful young intern, and sometimes we had 10, 12 people in the class, and with very limited language skills, reading ability, and I thought this is what I want. That just touched me, and I realized how much you could help them.
Vivian began teaching youngsters, but soon found her true passion was helping adults who were working hard to help themselves.
They're so grateful, and you come in with a big smile on your face, and you introduce yourself, and the most important thing we had learned when you're dealing with international people, especially people who are coming here literally, is on their level. It's just very important that they feel accepted, and they're so craving some kind of attention and learning, and we right away spoke. Tell me a little bit where you're from. Are you married? How long have you been here? Do you have a job? Many didn't even have jobs yet. Many couldn't even fill out an application.
So once a week, she works one-on-one with those whose lives are drastically different than her own.
My name is Vivian, and I would say my name is Vivian. Oh, hello, Vivian. They have no sounds for certain things, and the Creole have very different pronunciations, very different even than French. So we start very basic. Literally, talking about the alphabet. We'll go through all the sounds, the consonants, the vowels, putting simple words together.
Vivian was so inspired by what she saw happening in those classes, she designed and started literacy lessons for employees working at her neighborhood country club.
They're all here on temporary visas. They're all here to learn. They're so excited to be in the United States. They're mostly in their 20s. As again, we try to have from varied countries. Our South African and our British don't need our help. But they're learning just whole new cultures. Most of them work in our food and beverage, and they need to be more confident in their work. And we have a lot of side trips that they get to do. But I could see that just by getting together and talking to us, and that we were so open to help them, we just want them to have more confidence on the job.
Each Monday, she shares her love of language and reading with these men and women in hopes of helping them to succeed in both their work and at home.
And I cannot tell you how appreciative they are, and that says a lot. That's why we come back and enjoy working with them.
From their ordeal.
Sometimes only a few employees show up, but that doesn't deter Vivian from her goal of giving back.
You can give an hour a week, you can give 5 hours a week, you can give 2 days. This position is 2 hours a week I do on a Thursday evening. I think it was usually about 5:30 to 7:30. And some of these people are coming in from work, they're tired, yet they're pushing themselves. I have a position at the school where we just do an afternoon a week, and then at my community, we do an hour a week.
And no matter how much or little you give, this local resident believes what you get back is immeasurable.
Sometimes we have such busy lives and we can get a bit narcissistic in this society, and when you give back, especially to people that have so little, and yet many of them are very rich in their life just with their family and their love of knowledge, and they want to learn, and I'm enjoying that a lot.
Now, if you were inspired by these stories to help, stay tuned. In just a few moments, we are going to give you details on our next special that will include expert advice and opportunity for you to become part of the solution to this growing problem.